everyone. It's me, Lizette, with Hotel Industry Talk. I'm so excited you're here. As I mentioned before, I am your sales hype woman, and I'm here to support you on your sales journey. So thank you so much for being here. This week, we are going to talk about being intentional with follow-ups. Now, we are going to also talk about tapping into your creative side. And if you don't have a marketing department, you are going to want to listen to this. Or if you're someone in marketing, these are some things that you want to consider after you reach out to a customer. What does that look like when you form a relationship, when you have a solid relationship, and when you also want to create new relationships? Let's dive in. When I think about follow-ups, the first thing that comes to mind is when you attend a trade show. When you go to a trade show, you end up gathering all of this information. Here are some tips what I do at trade shows when I'm taking notes. Of course, I use a pen and paper, but on business cards, I like to write something special on their card. So as an example, if they have pets, if they have kids, if there's something that they said during my conversation that will help me remember, I jot a note down on the back of the business card, or I make sure to put that when I'm writing notes in my tablet. The reason you want to do that is because you're going to use that information for your follow-ups. It's so important to connect with somebody on a personal level as well. When you find out their birthday, their favorite food, their favorite place to visit, it's so important to use that information to engage with them. And that's how you build trust. They know that you were able to listen during your conversation, and people appreciate being acknowledged and being heard. So you're using that information to help you also be that one person that connects with them on a deeper level. Part of these post-show follow-ups are emails, of course, and from an email, what I like to do is newsletters. I always like to ask a client, hey, can I add you to my newsletter? So let's segue that into being creative. Yes, create newsletters, create any content that's going to help engage your customer and put you top of mind. So when you think about being sourced, right? A hotel who gets added to that sourcing list for your client or customer, the only way they're going to remember who you are is if you stay top of mind. I was talking to somebody recently and they said, out of sight, out of mind, Lizette. And that really stuck with me and it resonated with me because we can get so caught up in our day-to-day that we forget to touch base with people. The easiest way to do this is by creating something that you can constantly share. And in your newsletter, it needs to be intentional, right? So when I talk about follow-ups with intention, you're putting information out there that is going to be useful and helpful to your customers and clients. When you think about gathering the data, right, gathering those emails, you want to have a way where you can actually store that information. So as I mentioned before, a distribution list. That list is something that you should be constantly updating. You should be removing people who maybe their emails bounce back or are no longer with the organization. You should be adding new people to that list and growing that network and staying connected to them. Some of the tools I use for newsletters or to be creative are Canva. I love Canva. It's a free tool. I do pay for the premium, which I highly recommend because it is such a great tool that you can create templates that you can reuse month after month. Now, what do you want to have in that template? Of course, you want to feature and highlight things that are new and happening at your hotel. What are some new partnerships that maybe you formed in the market? Is there something that the CVB is hosting or promoting that you can collaborate with them and put that in your newsletter? What about new restaurants? What is, something that is actually out of the box, a unique venue or a unique place to visit in your market that is new? People want to hear about the new things that are happening and also new things that are happening at your hotel. Storytelling is a big deal. Highlight your staff. Is there someone who went out of the box that you want to feature? Feature the housekeeper. Let them share their stories. Do maybe a video. Sometimes when I create my Canva templates, you can actually create a link that you can share with the public. And that link is what I share with my clients. And sometimes it is in a video format. And I know being in front of the camera can be uncomfortable. Listen, I had to learn, trust me, but you can do it. The more you do it frequently and the more comfortable you are going to be. Lastly, let's talk about LinkedIn. This is my favorite tool. If you are not utilizing LinkedIn, please do so and start small. One thing that I highly recommend is when you connect with somebody at a trade show, ask them for their LinkedIn. Start connecting on there and engage with their content. So if you notice that they're posting certain things and it catches your eye, make sure that you like, you comment, you repost. And also, you are the trusted advisor, right? For your hotel, you are the advocate, you are your hotel's champion. Share what's new at your hotel. What do you want people to see? And make sure that you're connecting with the right audience on LinkedIn. Who is going to benefit from that information? And find those clients and connect with them on there and engage. I know that marketing can be intimidating, especially when you're thinking about being creative and having to create content. But there are so many tools out there that exist that you don't have to recreate the wheel. You can create the thing one time, the template once, and then use that over and over again. So be open minded, try these new tools, get engaged, be intentional with your follow ups, and constantly reach out to your clients so that you stay top of mind. Thank you so much for listening. I greatly appreciate it. And I can't wait to share with you my next masterclass. We are almost at the finish line. And I can't thank you enough for all your support. As always, if you need more information, if you want to collaborate, if there's anything I can do for you, just let me know. I do have a podcast out there and I feature industry experts on there, and they provide additional advice for you so that way you can walk away with more tools and more resources. I appreciate your time and I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye.